Today's video we have K and Z. Z is our zealous zone belt or girdle tie with zigzag. K is our keep safe kerchief knotty tassel with knickknacks and key. For details, stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie, and today we have two letters. We have the letter Z, zealous zone. It's a belt or girdle tie with zigzags. So make a tie for your journal using ribbon, lace, fabric, stitch with a zigzag stitch. Stitch can be hand or by machine. And then we're also going to be making our keepsake kerchief knotty tassel with knickknacks and key. We're going to make a tassel using fabric, ribbon, lace, and add knots to the ribbon. So let's go ahead. We'll start with the tassel. And this is our journal that we're working on. So I pulled together some of the items that I've been using in the journal, and then also just some other things that might match. I have this piece of ribbon, and it seems to be about the right size. We're going to go, usually I like to do around 10 inches, and that seems to be just right about 10 inches, which is perfect. And so let's see, if we take this piece and cut it in half, okay, so we're going to cut this piece in half, and we have been using this for some of the ruffled edges and some of the other things. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it down the center. Okay, so this makes it a little bit smaller. It actually will work better, and then I can save this for other ties and things. Okay, so we're using this as our measuring guide. We have this piece of ribbon, and so if we go ahead and cut this, we're going to cut it a little bit bigger, and that will give room for more knots. And same thing with this one. We have this ribbon, a darker blue, and we'll go ahead and cut it in half. Remember, this is a knotty tassel, so we need to have knots in it. So I do want to use a piece of this and add this into our journal as well. So just like we did on the other piece of fabric, I'm going to save that for other things, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this down the center. Fabric is a great thing to use for tassels. It fills them up, and there we go. Okay, I have this lace, and since the journal is mostly white, I wanted to do this, and so I'm going to go with the true size of this, and I'm just going to cut two pieces. Okay, and then I'll save this and use that possibly somewhere in the journal. Then I do like to add some yarn, and we have used this yarn a few places. So, and the yarn is what makes the tassel fluffy and soft. And this yarn actually will come apart slowly. It'll and it will fray out and just be awesome. So we're still using that. Then I had this, and I was like, well, that'll give us another texture. So there's Okay, and it got, there we go. So we'll go ahead and push this under. And I'm really glad to have used that. Okay, so now here on this side, we have a piece of a fiber. I'm going to put that in my box. So this actually has a fiber as well as the little trimmy fiber. Okay, and I'm going to cut a few of those and then pull just a little out. And then also I had this eyelash trim, and I like the yellow in it because, you know, the center of the pansy had yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. And oh my gosh, what are the chances that we're going to get two pieces that have yellow just like that? And I'm going to cut this right where it's purple. Okay, so it'll be short, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah, so we've been using this. I'm really liking this, and I got this for 70 cents at Hobby Lobby, which is amazing. Okay, so then just to get a little bit of white and some more ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple pieces of this picot. And I mean, this is going to be a big fluffy tassel. I love it. Okay, so one other thing, we could add some of the veil. I'm not going to add any of the veil today, but I am going to. We've been using this lace, okay? So it is ruffled. I'm going to cut right up against where the stitching is. Okay, and you can see where it's actually going to be a longer piece than what it was. So we just want a piece that is the same length as that original light blue ribbon that is now totally buried somewhere in here. This light blue ribbon right here. That one. So almost need a little bit more cut off. Okay. So there we are. Don't want to stretch it, you just lay it down next to it. Okay. And we'll be able to use this on other things. So we'll put that back in the box. We'll put this piece of lace back in the box, and then we'll go ahead and cut this in half. Okay. Okay, so we have quite a thing going on here. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to add this piece. This was the piece of lace where I was testing to see if it would work to color these. Now afterwards I might come back in here and go ahead and add the dark color like I did. But I want this to be part of the tassel as well. So, don't need that in there. Okay, so we cut these a little bit big, so we can go ahead and I'll start with these. I'm just going to go ahead and on each end add a knot. Okay, we're still good. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to add my knot up a little higher. Now if you have something cool to put in here that can be put in a knot, then I would go ahead and add it into your knot like that. Okay, so our knots are in various places. We'll do the same with this, with a knot down below. And a knot up down below. Okay, and then a knot up above. And a knot up above. Okay, so let's go with like this. Okay, and we have pieces of lace. Actually, I think all the lace is closer to the top. Okay, we had 2 more ribbons. And we'll do these ones kind of in the middle. Okay. Of course, this is a shorter ribbon. It's okay. Just okay. Add some fabric. Fabric. Trim. Trim. Yarn. Yarn. Eyelash trim yellow. Eyelash trim yellow the other direction. Fabric. Fabric. Oh, we got some trim there. Trim. Trim in the center. Lace and lace. And a knotty yarn or ribbon. And a knotty ribbon. Okay. Lace. Lace. Okay, so next I like to use a washer, but I also have some of these white pieces that came out of my mom's stash, stuff that she had, and so I think I'm going to use that today. And I'll just go ahead and twist this around just to make it easier to get it through that. Okay, so there we go, it's through, everything's down. Okay, and then try and get it so that it's in the middle. Okay, so we got like this, we're in the middle. Okay, and then decide if you want it this way or the other. I kind of like it this way. Let's look at how it looks with the cover. Yeah, I like it with the lace on the outside and then all of the stuff on the inside. I just do this time. Okay, so I'm going to separate these 2 ribbons. Okay, because they really want to stand out. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and hold this down. And then the one other thing is I want to make sure that this piece right here, because this is how I want to do it. And I like to make sure I use everything. So I want to put this on the outside. And I'm going to use my wire. It got put away. Okay, so here I'm going to just add this. Okay, and line it up like if you remember what a graduation tassel, it had your wire all lined up in a row. Okay, and then you can cut it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring it around. I get this wire at Michael's in the wreath or floral section, usually at holiday time. They will have all different colors. It's very pliable, easy to work with, and there. And you can see your little tassel ends up looking like a little angel, even. Okay, so I like it with this. That's just different. I like things to be, you know, have personality and to be different and not be always the same. So that little piece of lace is going to do that. Now the one other thing I'm going to want to do is go ahead and stick my wire up underneath the wire that's there. Okay, there we go. And that way you won't get scratched or anything by the wire. So there is the knotty part of the tassel. Now we needed to add some knickknacks and a key. So I have a key, and we're going to add some fingernail polish. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add this pretty blue. To one side of our key. And then we have this that has some glitter. And we're going to go ahead and add that to that. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to show you that I made my Z, which was our zone. It's actually the tie for the journal. So I took my strip of this fabric and I sewed it together with a zigzag. So I folded it over, sewed it together, and for my tie, I'm going to go ahead and use it along with the yarn that I've been using, because I really like the yarn tie. So it's going to be a little different though than the way I was doing the yarn ties. So I have my yarn already tied on there. I'm going to go ahead and just put this through. Okay, so this is a very simple tie, but it got us our Z. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and it's going to be about that different between what is coming from the back and what is going to be in the front. Okay. Then to okay. So coming around, I'm going to go ahead and tie this around the end. So it's there, it's loose, it's loosely there. I'm going to do the same thing over here, tie it around the end. So we'll just tie a knot. Make it a double knot. Okay. And then cut that. Put these up in my box that I'm using. Okay. And that gives me my tie or zone. Okay. So there's my tie or zone. And then the key is going to take a while to dry, and that's fine. We're going to go ahead, and I have this necklace, and so we can go ahead and attach go ahead and take off the blue ones. A couple of them, I think. So there's that. And I'm going to attach it to this. Okay. To this trim. It feels pretty sturdy. Okay, and then I need to close my bead back up. So closing it, and there. Okay, so I have my first knick-knack. It's bead. I have a button. If you have something small enough that can get through the hole of a button, buttons are fun to have. If not, then you can always add it, put it on a needle. Oh, we have another thread in here. Oh. It's got lots of hairs that are making it not want to go through. Okay. There we go. This gives us another knick-knack. So broken jewelry makes great knick-knacks for your charms or for your tassels. In this journal, we're also going to have a dangle. So you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll add this key. And that way we'll be able to be finished with this one, and then we can add the other key to our dangle. So it wasn't a total waste of our time. But there's a key. You can use a real key, and real keys, especially if they're sentimental, is kind of cool. You know, like your first home and you change the locks on your house or something. That might be kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to grab another blue from here, and I'm going to put it down a little lower. I could have, well, I still had to get it off there, so. Well, let's tie it on and then finish. Okay, and I want this one to come down lower. Okay, so just not tying it in a double knot there. There we go. Okay, so we have 2 of those beads, and we have our key. So there's a bead, there's a bead, there's a button, and somewhere in here there's a key. Okay, so that is our tassel that I'm making for this journal. We're almost dry, but not quite. So this is going to go on here. I will fix this up a little bit so that it matches what we had done before. And I have moved the bulb pins. Okay, so this is a bulb pin or a garment pin. And I'm going to go ahead and use that. And we can either punch a hole here in the front. I'm going to go ahead and put it on a paper clip, and that way whoever ends up with this journal, they can decide what they really want to do with it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so there is the tassel with the key. Let's make sure that I did everything I was supposed to do. Keepsake kerchief knotty tassel with knickknacks and key. Make a tassel using fabric, ribbon, lace, and add knots to the ribbon. We did that. We did that. So there you go. And we have our Z zone. So that gives us our K for our keepsake kerchief knotty tassel with knickknacks and key, and our Z for zealous zone tie with zigzag. If you want to join in on our challenge, the April A2Z Junk Journal Challenge details video is in the description box down below. We'd love to have you, and the deadline for the challenge is April 30th. There's still plenty of time to go ahead and put together your journal with your 26 alphabet elements. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you go out and make yourself a fluffy tassel, kerchief tassel. And it was kerchief because we used fabric that we cut up, and plus, you know, trying to find words that start with K. And our zealous zone, which is our tie here. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Have an amazing day. Thanks for being here. Bye. Bye-bye.